Boom! Welcome everyone, Maté talk time. Look at this, my eye. Look at this, my eye. So for those who may not know, I had a bit of an accident probably about a week ago, hence why there was no Maté talk last week. I was helping my mother-in-law cut down some branches and everything was going well. I had safety glasses on, safety first of course, and I picked up a branch with full force because like I do a lot of things, and so I was trying to do this quickly because I know that my mother-in-law needed help. And as I pick up this branch with full force, I punched this this branch that I didn't see, and it just went straight into my eyeball. I did have glasses on, but somehow this branch just wanted a piece of me. In that moment, to the point it took my brain a while to realize what had just happened, other than pain, blinding light, eyes are watering, and I'm like, it really took me a while to go, I don't understand what just happened. Why am I feeling all these things? And then slowly, the brain's going, you just shoved the branch into your eye. That evening, I thought to myself, I'll be okay. Sunday morning, I woke up and I thought I had like a tree branch or some bark in my eye. I went to the hospital and I cut my eye just underneath the iris, underneath the main part of the eye. So I had some antibiotics, eye drops, and had to keep my eyes closed for a couple of days. The good news is, so I took that photo. I was still, let me just say, I was braving. I was still in pain, a lot of discomfort. My eye was very sensitive to light. But I thought, you know, just to show everyone I'm going to be out of action, I can't do this Maté talk. The good news is, I've got the all clear. So I'm back. I've got my bionic eye. Actually, you know how it happens. You start to worry about things unnecessarily. Your brain goes in a bad direction. You think to yourself, I'm going to have a what do you call it, a glass eye, you know, so one eye will be looking this way, the other eye is looking in that direction, or a patch. But I'm glad that neither one of those things occurred. Boom, feeling good, baby. And I want to thank everybody. You guys were awesome. The amount of get well and good vibes and all that sort of stuff, I really appreciate the love and the care. Thank you, everyone. Now, at the end of this review that I'm about to do on some fragrances, I will be talking about these things here. And one of them is a discovery series. I'll go into a bit more detail about that. And also talking about the becoming a member and why would you want to give me your $4? That's basically the theme of it. All right, I've been testing. So Francesca Bianchi. As soon as you say that, you already know you're in for a bit of a treat. You're in for something that is highly niche and artistic, and something that is very personal. I feel that Francesca creates things from her soul. There's a little bit of, it delves into the woman that she is, you know, very much about sensuality and about people and contact, and, you know, about giving of yourself. So these are more than just a floral bouquet. These are something a little bit more intense. The one that I'm testing is called TYGAR. And it's gorgeous, full stop. So just to take away the suspense, this is a really beautiful, in the line of a Francesca Bianchi, very animalic. There is a deep sensuality to this fragrance. So before I looked at notes, the first feelings that I got from it were very, very heady floral. So it has a very exotic, full bouquet of indolic florals in there. To me, I got a very distinct or jasmine-like, orange blossom-like, tinged with a little bit of sweetness. I did think of another full flower like ylang ylang, very rich and sort of dense. There are notes of a very sweet, not beeswax, but definitely a honey. And that honey can also have that slight animalic sort of nature to it. Mentioned before, I'm a beekeeper, I have my own beehive, and when you open up that hive, you do get a mixture of the sweet honey beeswax, that waxiness, but also the actual bees themselves, and this animalic touch that comes out of that hive. It's just gorgeous. I also got, like, as I mentioned, some sweet notes in there. To me, it was like an orange blossom style. In looking at the notes, okay, so the bottom line is this is sensational, all right? So this is a very, I sometimes find that some of Francesca's fragrances can be a little bit more on that animalic side, very musky, very sort of deep and resonant, not resonance, but like, you know, this, like very, very animalic, very sensual, you know, very almost potent. Here I found, because of the florals and those sweet notes, it walks a very delicate line. I do get an animalic nature out of it. In looking at the actual breakdown of notes, she lists things like narcotic flowers. And I tried to look at what does that mean? Is there such a thing as a narcotic flower? And it turns out that it's actually an accord and the use of certain florals that can be addictive and can be sort of narcotic-like. Things like jasmine, things like orange blossom, things like, what was else listed in there? I can't remember. They're basically, you know, these more sort of deep sensual, where you just want to keep breathing in, you just want to inhale this scent profile. There is honey, and there is a peach jam. When I saw peach jam, I'm like, okay, that's the sweetness. I thought it was I thought it was orange blossom, but I think it is more that peach, sort of peachy jam. Again, an accord, you don't extract peach jam, but you get the feeling of that sweetness and that nectar-like quality to it. And there is oud, and I feel that that is the more animalic side of things. I've been wearing it today. I'm deeper in, you know, the interesting, when it opens up, it is very sweet, floral, honey-like. It has a very sort of enticing scent profile to it. It's very alluring. Now that I'm deeper in the dry down, and I've been wearing it now probably close to 4 or 5 hours, it's more on that animalic side of things, and it does have a Bianchi touch to it. So you smell this, and you know that it's a Francesca Bianchi fragrance. You can, it's her DNA. You can feel it in there in that fragrance. I also find that discovered that the projection on this thing is a monster. Came in after I showered and all the rest of it, and as soon as I walked in, both the staff or the crew members were like, whoa, I can smell that fragrance. It was literally popping off me. So great fragrance. Why TYGAR? I've discovered the tiger is a very polyamorous animal. It's a very sexually active animal, and when it's in that mating season, it has multiple partners. So I think this fragrance is designed to be as a bit of a lure. It's a bit of a sort of, you know, if you're out on the town, you're out on the prowl, then this would be a great fragrance to support you in that quest. So something quite spectacular. I mean, I'll show you this, but here, this is better. Something quite spectacular and very Francesca Bianchi. If you're new to Francesca, I would go here. I know she has another one called Under My Skin. Anyway, this one here. That's also a big hit, but I actually think this one here, if you're new to her, try this out, because that opening and that floral and those bouquet of indolic sort of florals and that honey, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Boom. Now let me tell you about this. So I got a lot of great comments. So it was equal part very nice comments, and I appreciate the get well and, you know, be careful and things like that. But I also got these kind of comments. It's not very nice, because what if I was going to have to get a glass eye or get a patch? I mean, at this stage, it was still, not that it was touch and go, I was definitely feeling a bit better, but what if, you know, it was a lot more dramatic. And I think maybe my smile in the photo denotes that everything was in a good place. We had a joke in our family years ago where we were goofing around on the trampoline with my son Nelson. He would have been about 12, I think. And he jumped up, and at the same time I kicked him and he went flying. Anyway, I winded him, and he's on the floor, and as he fell off the trampoline, he also hit himself. So I think he like, and then fell off. So he's trying to catch his breath. I'm trying to help him. And the funny thing was that it was a spectacular hit. The way the whole thing, the way it bounced and the way he went flying and the way he bumped and then he fell off. I mean, visually, it was quite comical. It was actually quite funny. Anyway, once he caught his breath, I said to him, I said, "You okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, you really hurt me." I said, "But it's okay, my boy." I said, "But you know what? It was a really good hit. You should have seen the way you flew." That's always become a joke, because in that moment, he said to me, a good hit, like you you evil person, you know? I actually got hurt and you're thinking that this was funny. So that's how I felt when everyone's saying that I looked like a pirate. I should have had a bird on my shoulder, all that sort of stuff. I kept thinking, this is coming back to me now. It's a full circle. And everyone's saying it was a good hit, and it was a good hit. But I'm glad that I was okay. My eye is good. But this did inspire me to create a pirate lineup. Now you guys all see my little guys in the background, and I thought, what better pirates to represent? So these are fragrances that pirates would wear, and in particular, let me just bring this guy up. Hang on. In particular, my one-piece characters. So obviously everybody knows Luffy. So I'm such a nerd. I collect all this sort of stuff. Anyway, so, and then we have, of course, ZORO. Cool guy. Look at these. He's such a cool guy. Anyway, so I thought to myself, it would be cool to have a pirate lineup. You know, what fragrances would the certain members of the One Piece crew and other characters within One Piece, what would they be wearing? So boom, here we go. We're going to be talking about this very point. All right, let me move on. Now, I just need to, as a disclaimer, Nelson, my son, is the complete One Piece nerd. I've been watching it, but I'm not at the number of episodes. There's like 1 million episodes. I'm not at the episodes that he's at. So I asked him, he came into the office, and I said to him, all right, well, let's select some characters. And you tell me, because he knows them a lot deeper when it comes to their evolution within the series, and I will then assign a fragrance. So I'm assigning the fragrances you're about to see, but he actually gave me the description. So let me begin with Luffy as our very first one. And this is what Nelson wrote about Luffy. So Luffy generally is very jovial and hard to take things serious. Originally thought to have the gum fruit, but it's the Nika fruit. Now, Gear 5 turns him into the sun god Nika, and there is still a lot of mystery to this. Whether there is another evolution and where things will go from here, we don't know. His dream is to become king of the pirates, and he won't stop till he becomes it. That's the explanation. What you see in him, this kid who's very jovial and doesn't seem to take things seriously, and yet he has this enormous power and strength to him. I thought, as soon as he mentioned this, for me, it's none other but the incredible and glorious FANTOMAS. So, I'm assigning this as Luffy's signature scent. So this is what Luffy is smelling like. And the reason for it is that this is a fragrance where you don't know where you stand. No matter, you think you understand it until you spray and start using it. And you're going like, what in the world is going on? I'm covered in perfume. I can smell FANTOMAS really clear. And in particular, that mixture of the black tire, so it does have this, I mean, I know it sounds weird, but it's actually a beautiful black tire scent mixed in with this grape-like melon sort of vibe to it. At certain times, a cucumber note pops out. At other times, you get a dusty, sort of woody fragrance note that moves through. As a summer fragrance, and I know Northern Hemisphere is going into summer, don't underestimate how incredible and just divine this fragrance is. It will push you into, what was it called? Gear 5. When you start to sweat, it really presents itself. Incredible sillage, fantastic projection, great presence that the fragrance has. If you want to know more, I did do a video, here it is here. I have recommended this to a number of people. A number of people actually spray it on card and go, but what is this? This is weird. And I just always insist, spray it on skin. The worst is you wash it off. But even then, just spray it on skin and leave it. Give yourself 3 or 4 hours. And all of a sudden you'll be like, is that me? Is that, I promise you, a sensational fragrance, and one that Luffy is wearing. All right, boom, next one. So this is one of my early loves. I love this guy, ZORO. He's just, what it is, it's the katanas that I love. I just love the fact, and also the fact that he fights with a katana in his mouth, a sword in his mouth. It's like crazy stuff. I know it's a cartoon, but it's the nerd in me. So this is Nelson's comment on ZORO. So ZORO is serious and stoic. There's no bull crap about him, and he is to the point. He loves his booze, he loves caring for others, and he loves his katanas and sleeping. Dreams of becoming the world's best swordsman. Boom. So what do you get a guy who is stoic, but loves booze, and knows, and just by looking at him, you know that he means business. So my recommendation is, or my suggestion is that he's wearing Bonne Chauffe. This is a Frappant fragrance. I have mentioned about this particular fragrance. I think this one here, I don't hear a lot about it. It's one that flies very low on the radar. It does have a booziness, but it's a boozy that is quite potent. So it starts off a little bit on the sort of sweet, there are some herbal notes in there, and then it gets quite serious. So a lot of boozy fragrances tend to be more on that sort of more lighter, like a whiskey note or a rum note. There's some sweetness and spices in there, whereas this gets, it gets serious real fast. The moment it comes out, you're sensing something very woody. You are getting the booziness, but it's a very dark sort of whiskey or dark bourbon, something quite heavy. And then in the base, there is this divine patchouli. And this patchouli resonates between being woody and earthy and that musty, sort of damp earth sort of scent profile to it. Look, can a woman wear this? I would love it. So if there's any ladies out there who have Bonne Chauffe, I'd love to hear from you. I feel that this is such a masculine leaning fragrance. This denotes a sense of seriousness. It denotes a sense of strength. I think by wearing this, you easily tell somebody that you mean business. It can be polarizing. Within my own family, my son loves boozy fragrances. This is not Nelson, it's Farron. And he's not a big fan of this fragrance. He finds it way too serious, way too serious. Whereas Nelson, initially when I sprayed it on him, he's like, oh, no, it's got some herbals. And then as it dried down, he's like, oh, no, this is the one. This is ZORO all over. So for me, ZORO is wearing this baby. As Nelson was explaining to me, I actually felt really strongly, and I kept saying to Nelson, just give it some time, because I really feel that ZORO is Bonne Chauffe. Bonne Chauffe is ZORO. Boom. All right, next one. So NAMI. Now this is the cutesy little girl, but is she really that cute? All right, this is Nelson's explanation. So NAMI is the ship's navigator and is obsessed with money and will often screw over her own crew, especially USOPP or SANJI, if she'd get money. Rumor has it that she came from royalty and hence her fondness for money. Interestingly, NAMI is a character that I find annoying because she's ruthless. There is a sweetness to her by looking at it in the way she's been drawn. You know, she's cute and all the rest of it, but she'd throw you under the bus in a heartbeat. And so it's almost like don't underestimate her. Just by looking at her or by first glance or first meeting her, don't underestimate the darkness that is actually behind it all. So none other than AICAN. This is her signature scent. Because on first impressions, you get this beautiful mixture between that passion fruit and their another sweet note, I can't remember, but for me the passion fruit just really pumps. Actually, I smelled it before when I first sprayed it. I'm in the dry down, I want to stay in the dry down. So you get that beautiful passion fruit and these sweet notes, and it's like, it's playful, it's fun. It's not until you go deeper into the fragrance that you start to get these darker notes, and this is where I am right now. And again, it's that beautiful interplay between, so it's come back from the sweet and you're getting more of that patchouli coming through. The patchouli here is different to Bonne Chauffe. Bonne Chauffe, very earthy, very musty-like, and very serious, where here, it's the interplay between the fun fruit notes that you have, that passion fruit still plays throughout the fragrance, but now there is a bit more of the woodiness that comes through. This is easily a masculine or feminine fragrance. For me, it walks a very clear line between being a beautiful unisex fragrance. In my family, Everyone loves this fragrance. So Sandra, who's particularly fussy when it comes to patchouli fragrance, will be wearing AICAN without a problem. My sons, both my boys, easily wear this fragrance. This is one that is quite a while back when it first came out. This was, for me, like a #1 hit. This was like, you know, constantly on high repeat. So AICAN, I can see Nami wearing it, being cutesy, but at the same time, cooking you if she decides that she can make some money off you. That darkness that's in the background. Actually, again, this is a great fragrance. AICAN's a great fragrance for either northern or southern hemisphere. Something that can play on both grounds, and definitely Nami's signature scent. The next one. This is USOPP. Now this guy is annoying. And as Nelson was explaining him, actually, let me explain this first. As he was explaining him, I thought, this guy's a real because it's like you like him, but you don't like, actually you don't like him, but then you like him. So, but he's more on, you're a real kind of character, you know? So as soon as we started talking about this, I thought, okay, let me give you first Nelson's explanation, and then USOPP. So he's a coward at first and will generally flee from any fight until the time comes when he needs to pull through. He's very dependable. He's a sniper and has amazing vision. So for me, was the motivation to STERCUS. This is the ultimate poopy fragrance that you can have out there. I think this is his signature scent, only from the mere fact that the name of the fragrance defies his personality perfectly. Now, here's a fragrance that is, if you're new to oud, I would encourage you to grab this because you're going to get a very distinct oud fragrance that has incredible movement and evolution. It starts off appealing in the sense that it has this wonderful sort of herbal, a little bit of sweetness in there, some sweet woods. But then as it begins to dry down, it has a very distinct oud signature scent to it, which is that poopiness, that slightly animalic, but very deep and resinous, very deep woody resinous. Lasts forever. I feel like this fragrance has great projection, great sillage, it has great presence. And it's, you know, the other thing that I love about this is it gets mixed responses. So there are some, actually, look at this episode, because if you read the comments, you get a number of people going, this is a glorious fragrance, I love, love, love. And other people like, who in the world is wearing this? And why would you want to wear it? So for me, STERCUS is a great stabilizing, soul rumbling oud fragrance. It has beautiful early sweet notes, and I can see USOPP as the perfect fragrance for him to be carrying around, because you smell it and you're like, yes, you are a because you're a pain in the a painful character. I'm bleeping out, as you can hear, I'm bleeping out my swearings. No swearing. But just to say that word just defines it easily, you know, like a pop, that's what he is exactly. All right, Sanji, let me read this. Loves women and obsesses over them. So long as he doesn't take it too far, most of the time women enjoy the attention and flattery. He is mega chivalrous and is a big protector of women. He loves to cook and keep things clean on deck. Ideal husband. He's aware of women and he likes to, he's a little bit on that sort of old school, you know. He wants to be chivalrous. He wants to demonstrate, well, he wants to get the ladies' attentions, basically. So I thought you need something classic, almost like a fougere. It needs to be clean, vetiver-like. It needs to have some cedar-like qualities to it, so a nice woody element, you know, masculine feel to the fragrance. I put forward a number of fragrances to Nelson with that vetiver, clean vibe, fougere style. He said no to a number of them until Royal Oud came forward. I did think, for me, it took a while sort of to get to this particular signature scent for Sanji, but I feel that he is a Creed man, but he's now more of a classic, more old school sort of, you know, gentleman style of fragrance that would suit him. He has, what I love about Royal Oud is that it never goes into that fecal animalic oud at all. You're getting, so I find that some ouds have a very cedar-like quality to them, and I feel that this one here amplifies that cedar quality really, really well. Opens up with these beautiful herbal notes, and then it stays on skin just perfectly. It dries down to, you're getting a slight, actually I just got it then, a slight tinge of oud, but never into the STERCUS style. It's clean, it's super appealing, it has the presence, for me, this is a strong masculine man. Again, I'd be curious to know if any women are enjoying Royal Oud. I find that for me, this is a very debonair, masculine style fragrance. It stays on skin really nicely, it projects really well. And I find that as a classic oud fragrance that doesn't go too deeply into that fecal part, then Royal Oud is a hit. I got distracted because I just saw the time. I'm gonna stop and then I'll come right back and back. All right, so Royal Oud, big recommendation. Anybody who loves to have that very clean, this is a suited up, I mean, this is also, I feel, James Bond style of fragrance, you know, so a nice debonair kind of man. It's perfect. Ladies, if anyone's enjoying that, I'd love to hear about it because I find that it is quite masculine leaning. All right, last one. This guy. So Chopper loves sweet things especially. He is rumored to be the crew's pet. He loves compliments even though he'll pretend like he doesn't. Even though he's not the pet, he also likes being held like a pet. This one here was so easy and I already showed it to you. So it's Mallow, and it's that wanted sign where there is that fairy floss in the shot also alongside Chopper. This baby, I haven't sprayed it. So this baby here, and I can smell it as soon as I took the lid off, is the most sugar overdose in that opening and then in the evolution and dry down of the fragrance you're ever likely to experience. For me, as soon as I saw the images of Chopper, it just was like, it's Mallow all over. This is what the character is wearing without a problem. Now, why would you want to wear it? I love this fragrance. So I've mentioned that, yes, it is very sugary and strawberry on that opening, and almost the colors that you see is purple and pink and things of that nature. But on a man's skin, it's actually quite unique and different. It is very sugary and saccharine-like. Not that it has a synthetic feel to it, and so it doesn't feel like a Body Shop fragrance or anything of that nature, or Body Shop sort of creams. It just, everything feels animated and colorful. I did mention, I did do this, the SORA Discovery series. I did mention in this particular episode that for me, I find that this fragrance is like all the notes in the construct have now been converted over into a Studio Ghibli animation profile. There is in the base, or in the heart of it, an orange blossom, and I find that orange blossom, so think white floral, orange tinge, nectar, honey-like, is actually in that Studio Ghibli present, or Studio Ghibli style of presentation. So the colors have been exaggerated. It's definitely saturated in richness, but it's a fun fragrance to wear. I find that a lot of ladies tend to reach for this quite easily. Boys are a little bit shyer. I did mention also in that particular episode that this is Quentin, so the owner of SORA. This is his signature scent. This is the one that he's always wearing. He did mention to me that whenever he's wearing this, he's always getting compliments. People are always going to know, what in the world are you wearing? What can I smell? I did mention that for me, on the opening, it is very, sugary and purple, powdery and poof, sort of feel to it. But as it dries down, it does go musky. So I'm still getting that beautiful, sweet orange blossom, white floral tinge. But now there's this white musk that's also playing there, a skin-like quality to it, which now molds with me and gives me its own personality. big recommendation. I really, really, really love this fragrance. Great for winter, great for summer. Something that boys, I'd recommend. Girls, easy. It's a beautiful love, and it's a beautiful fragrance. Boom, and done. They're the pirates. I'm not a pirate, but I'm wearing all the fragrances. And for me, the one that stands out, I still think I'm probably either Luffy, because I love the I don't know where I stand. It's not what I think it is, you know. It keeps me guessing. I know that Alessandro's fragrances have, when he first came out with them, you know, a lot of the Nasomatos, they were quite avant-garde. So take Black Afghano as an example. Now people go, oh yeah, but it's a bit like this, a bit like that. Yeah, but when he first came out, there was nothing like it, or nothing that was in that sort of vein. To this date, FANTOMAS, no one can say, oh, it's like this or it's like that. FANTOMAS stands on its own. So it gives you an idea how unique, how complex, and how just totally avant-garde this fragrance is. And I'd recommend it to you because it's a really good fragrance. Boom. And done. Hope you enjoyed that. That was the review side of things. It was a bit of fun. A little bit of fun with all things, with the pirates and fragrances that they would be smelling like, this one crew, the one-piece crew. If you were here just for that, thank you for your company, appreciate it. If you enjoyed that, I'd love you to subscribe. It's a great support to us. I am now going to move into some discussions on the community side of things, and also some other points when it comes to the Discovery series and things of that nature. Actually, Discovery series might be something that you might be interested in knowing more about if you come here for reviews and perfumes, etc. But if not, then grazie a tutti, or grazie a lei. Thanks for coming along, and great to have had your company. All right, moving on. So I released on last week and the week before the SORA Discovery series. And I wanted to sort of loop back on this, make sure that everybody was aware the purpose behind this and what I'm planning, or what the intention is. So this particular episode here covered all these two episodes, covered all the 11 that are currently in the SORA Discovery set. The idea is that rather than, the main motivation is that rather than go and blind buy, or rather than, and there are some scenarios where people don't have the ability to go into a boutique and spray and smell, the idea behind the Discovery series is really to put on your radar fragrances that I really rate, that I think are awesome, and then you and I go through them together. It's really about sharing. So I always say that it's us smelling fragrances in real time across the world. That's not completely true, because it is a pre-recorded video. But the idea is that in that episode, I'm actually speaking to you, and the intention is that I want to engage with you as if I'm in there in that moment. I have had some people write comments because in the video I say, talk to a screen as if I'm actually with you. And the engagement, so some people have written back saying that, yeah, they were talking. They were actually, because I ask a question and I seek your feedback. And the idea behind that is by, I don't know, but this exchange between us, even though I might not be present, it's still, just similar to this scenario here, where we have a chance to, it's share a moment together. Even though we may not be in the same room, we can share a moment via the technology. My brain's going, does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. The desire is also to, so I try to curate and find brands that have a different rhythm, rather than just show you just, big hitters, room fillers, or, beast mode fragrances. I really want to bring different levels of creativity to you. So you have a brand like NUIT NOMAD, which is a fantastic brand for those who are new to niche. There's some really great fragrances if you're brand new that you can get super excited about. If you're deeper in, say a veteran, then you can also explore and get excited about. I find that for me, the SORA fall more into that, into a veteran moving onwards. There are some fragrances here, like there's one called Camel Oud, which is quite a unique, very spicy oud fragrance that I wouldn't recommend for someone who's brand new to niche necessarily. My mission is to try to find different rhythms and bring this to you. My mission is also to see if I can get fragrances that are in speaking with the brands, that are willing to put something forward for you guys. So a 10% discount or free delivery. Not all brands can do this, all right? And it's not because they don't want to, it's just that they're restricted by the postage and all that sort of stuff. But here's my question to you. What are the brands that you would like to see more of? So I'd love to get an idea as to what, I mean, as I said, I'm trying to create a bit of a rhythm so that it's not just one particular thing. So they're not just for like deep niche lovers, but then also not just for people who are brand new to niche. So what brands are you seeing out there that you think it would be cool to get, you know, some insight on this? That's question one. Question two is, do you like this form of engagement? I get excited by it because if I find that it's a way for us to engage in something more than just me talking about a fragrance, you imagining what I'm smelling, whereas here we get to smell together, experience together something that we can share. Anyway, that's the general thought. Now there are some other, hold on, let me take a small drink. These are the other ones that are coming out. Coming out shortly will be the Almond Jane Discovery Series. This is one that I've been super excited to bring to life. I do love Almond Jane. They're a different concept, not concept, but a different style of perfume altogether. I have mentioned before that the Almond Janes it's an English brand, and their perfumery differs from, say, a Suspiro. Suspiro is all about big, bold, you know, entrance into a room and everybody knows you're there, whereas the Almond Janes are a lot more intimate. As you draw close to that person, you're detecting this incredible fragrance, this complex fragrance. So that's coming up shortly, the Almond Jane Discovery Series. I'm excited also that NUIT NOMAD have also now included the brand new one. I'm not even going to pretend to say it because I'll say badly, but now the new extrait is part of that. So when you purchase the Discovery set, you'll also get the brand new one that's being released. I will be doing a review on these guys too because I do love the NUIT NOMAD, quite complex. And this one now, where the original set was a little bit more sort of from a new recruit all the way to a veteran, I find that here it goes from veteran deeper in there. There's one in here, La Estrella de la Mañana, which is quite a beautiful, not a veteran to 5-star style of fragrance. It's quite robust with that cacao, it's touch animalic. It's quite a divine scent. So I look forward to developing that. The question again, I go back, tell me what you think. I really want to create content to engage with you guys. So I want to know more, good idea, bad idea, is this something that I should pursue? If yes, then what brands should I be looking out for and maybe bringing some more of these things to life? It does take a while, just to give you a heads up. There are some brands who understand the concept really quickly. If you think this is a good idea and you want me to pursue it, there are some brands that really understand the concept really quickly, and then other brands I really have to work to get them to go, oh, I get what you're doing. I get what this is about. It's about sharing a moment with perfume lovers around the world. Boom. All right, now the last thing that I want to talk about is becoming a member. So one of the supports to the NFC channel is a membership, and it's $4 a month for Aussie dollars. This is the conversion when it comes to the international. Actually, it's the Aussie dollar is like it's funny. It's just going down and down. So yeah, these are the conversions across the world. It's now the purpose of the becoming a member, other than supporting the channel and the work that we're doing, and just assisting in that regards, is by being a member, you also get access to the NFC Discord that we have. This is an awesome place where there is a high level of camaraderie. There is these friendships that are beginning to develop within the actual Discord. I get a lot of questions asked of me personally when it comes to, what fragrance should I use? What's something new? What would I recommend that has, leathery notes or whatever it may be? I don't have a lot of time to answer these. If you're a member, you can ask these questions of the group, and there's a lot of incredible people in here who have now, there's a number who've actually started their own fragrance channels or their Instagrams. So these are, they have a really good knowledge when it comes to beautiful niche fragrances. So the invitation is, Become a member, get a chance to have access to that NFC Discord, be part of that community that's there. It's quite engaging, and the friendships that have developed in there are quite spectacular. Now, one other thing that we do for the members is a monthly giveaway. So at the end of this month, I will be doing a giveaway, and basically what happens, spin the wheel, members have a chance for me to curate something specifically for you. So you tell me what kind of fragrances you enjoy, something that unique that you want to see. I have a number of different samples I'm constantly testing, so I'll send that across to you guys anywhere in the world. So that's another benefit of becoming a member. Boom! Thanks everyone. That's it, Maté Talk done. I look forward to reading your comments. I'll do my best to answer. I think I did a pretty good job on last week's one. Again, if I missed out on some of the get well messages, I try to answer as many. There was a lot, and I really appreciate the love that was extended and the well wishing, even though you guys all wanted me to become a pirate. Come on. It was a good hit, basically. Thanks everyone. We'll see you all on the next episode. Boop. Are you in love with niche perfumery?
What if you could meet the visionaries behind these niche fragrances?
What if you could slow this right down and enjoy a full day experience with them, including lunch and being able to go behind the scenes?
KM Fragrance Tours is the world's first tour company where we specialize putting on unique perfume experiences.
This is about slowing things down and enjoying time with the perfume creators, with the perfumers, and those favorite brands that you love. Past 2 years, we've been enjoying France. This year, it's all about Italy.
This is going to be a 9-day luxury tour where we're going to take you to Milan, Florence, and Rome.
It's about experiencing the tastemakers in each of those cities and enjoying time with those creators.
All of the brands coming on board, they're wanting to put on a show for you guys.
We are going to Matteo Fascioni's new temple. He's moved from Salso Maggiore, coming to Sarzana, and it's a whole new expression. We will be the first in the world to experience this. A common question is, where am I going to stay? I'm happy to advise that we have hand-selected each of the hotels in the 3 cities.
These are amazing luxury properties. Take a look at the first property we'll be staying at in Milan. Magna Paz, this is the first perfume hotel in the world.
Everywhere that you go within Magna Paz is actually perfumed in a different way. Every room has its own signature scent, and you'll have a chance to do an olfactory check-in.
Now what does this mean? We're gonna send you the set of L'Absolu fragrances. Every fragrance actually belongs to a room in the hotel.
You have the chance now in the luxury of your own home to select the fragrance note that resonates best with you, and we'll lock in that room just for you.
Now dining, where will we be eating at throughout the tour? We have picked restaurants for us to relax, experience the authentic local flavor of Italy.
I'm happy to say that I've tested these restaurants. When I was recently in Italy, we actually went to these places to make sure that they're going to be good enough for you.
Now you don't need to be an expert to join us on these tours. The last few years we've had guests that have just started their niche fragrance journey join us, and even some couples that actually brought their partner along who didn't really know anything about perfumes at all, but loved their experience on the tour.
It's about the pleasure of being in this unique location alongside someone who is the master in their
visionary,
field.
an artist in their craft.
And it's about the joy and the pleasure of travel.
Now this isn't just a tour. It's a journey through scent, through the history of Italy, with people who share your passion for fragrances.
I'd like to invite you to join us on this upcoming tour. If you want to know more, please email us or jump on our website for further details.